Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's a bit windy day today, but I hope that the wind will not be disturbing you too much. Those headphones actually work pretty well with the wind. Just to show you where I am before I start, because I know some of you have not watched my previous videos, so let me stand up and just show you. This is the area by Odra River. It's a very nice spot actually. So today's video, it's another video that is a little bit, well, mostly I would say free-flowing. I have some reflections that I want to share with you, and I would very much appreciate your feedback in the comment section. What do you think about it? And I have to start with apologies. I just realized that I forgot to write down the names of people who have recently supported me on PayPal. I apologize, guys, but I will thank you in the next video. I will mention your names. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone who is supporting me. I am immensely grateful for your support, guys. I was having those thoughts lately for a while, and especially lately it came to me, and this morning I clarified that by the list that I have at the front of me, and I will be reading this to you. My thoughts were about the people who talk about politics or geopolitics or those kind of news that recently became especially extra popular. The reason is because we all are trying, well, I think most of us already know the truth, but a lot of people are trying to find out the truth from the so-called alternative media that, in my opinion, is not as alternative as it's called, to be honest. Anyway, a lot of people are seeking for the answers to what's going on in the world, you know, and what to expect. That's another thing, like what to expect, what is the future, how bad it's going to get before it gets better, some say. Anyway, I think especially during the situation between Russia and Ukraine in 2022, a lot of channels have focused on those geopolitical topics, and I am one of those people who turned my channel into more geopolitical subjects. And as you know, I have interviewed a lot of people, and for a long time I was also believing a lot of things that some of those people I think still believe. I'm not sure if all of them do, and I want to talk about this before we go into the what is the price that you pay. Does it serve you well to watch all those videos, including my videos in which I talk about geopolitical topics? I want to say this. It's very often how people look at things. They say, oh, this one has a lot of subscribers, or this one has a lot of views. That means they might be speaking the truth. There is a point, valid point in that, but I also think a lot of views are being generated by people who are also getting addicted or already had become addicted to listening to the same kind of narrative for a while. And you know, it's like you have your favorite telenovela that you keep on watching for like 750 or 1000, whatever is the number of the show, this telenovela that almost never ends. Eventually it ends, but then they create another telenovela from Venezuela or from Brazil. Like I used to watch when I was a teenager. We had one from Brazil about a slave. Her name was Isaura. And people get addicted. I remember like entire country, well, most people in Poland were going to sit at the front of TV and watch on Sunday, early evening I think it was, what happened to Isaura this week. So why I'm saying all of this to you is because I realized a while ago, actually over a year ago, how draining and how unhealthy those videos overall are. And I know that I am one of those who brings this to you, which mea culpa, I have to say. But I think having self-awareness is the first step to changing things, and at least acknowledging this and apologizing to the audience, because I am the experiment of my own doing. This video is about where politics falls on the energy scale. And why this is important, because in order for us to survive all of this shit show, if we want to, sometimes I feel like I just want out of it, because I don't want to analyze or, wonder where to go, where to live, how to do it. Ultimately, I know if I am meant to survive, I will. If the divine power, God, the truth, wants me to keep on going, I will survive. But what does it do to all of us, right? Where politics falls on the energy scale. So before I tell you how does all of this affect you guys, I tell you this. There is a scale, many of you are familiar with it, Hawkins scale, the name of the person, last name. And this is a measurement of the frequency of energy that is generated by certain emotions, okay? So let me explain this in simple words, those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Every emotional state that we have, so let's say fear or love, actually they are like, those two are the most opposite ones. Every emotion, everything really is a vibration, right? Everything vibrates, so everything can be measured. Even yogurt, actually, they did this experiment. They plucked those wires and they were able to tell on what frequency yogurt vibrates, which sounds crazy, but this just proves the thing that everything is the energy, everything is the vibration. So are the emotions that we are experiencing, because we are like the batteries, That's why they suck energy from us. Yeah. So we vibrate on different scales. And how we feel, what we are experiencing, how we feel, generates a certain energy field that can be measured. So this scale, Hawkins scale, gives us an idea, a map of how does it look like in reality. And this is very important because I want to read this to you. So we're going to start with the top of the list, which is 700 plus, it's enlightenment. 600 is peace. 450 is joy. 500 love. 400 reason. 350 acceptance. Here I want to draw the line. So let's say whatever I just read you, all of this, is when your energy expands. Meaning when you feel, like you have open heart, you are relaxed, or, whatever you're experiencing on this scale, that you are not dense and tense, you feel you're expanding your energy. Which means there is more opportunities, there is more chances for you to experience something on that flow, because you are allowing this to be part of your experience. Now we go below this line that I just draw. So 350 was acceptance, and this is very important. We will get back to it. Now we go below, so we go down. 310 is willingness. 250, neutrality. I probably mispronounced or had the wrong accent here. 200 is courage. 175 pride. 150 is anger. 125 desire. 100 is fear. 100 is fear. 75 grief. 50 apathy. 30 guilt, and 20 shame. So if you're still with me, thank you for watching. Let's go back to the lowest ones. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lowest energy emotions. 20, shame. Shame very often also mixed with depression, okay? So shame, guilt, apathy, grief, and fear. So those are the lowest emotional states, meaning not much life force is going through you, and you are very, very contracted as far as the energy goes, which means you're dense, you're closed. And if you just imagine this, it's blocking, right? So you're blocked. Why is important? Why I'm reading this to you guys? Because, and this is just when you literally look it up, where politics falls on the energy scale. I remember when my father was still alive, and when he was alive, I was talking to him in the last months of his life. It's actually, that's when this happened, when I moved back to Poland. And I said, you know, that he asked me what I talk about on my YouTube channel. And before Ukraine, I was talking about, you know, I believed in Trump, so I was like, hold the line, trust the plan, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was one of those that I believed in everything, pretty much. And then I started, well, I still believed in Trump, but I started to talk about Ukraine and politics. And I said to my dad, you know, I started to talk about politics. And he said, Anya, oh, my daughter, right, like Tureczko, this is such a difficult thing to do. Are you sure you want to do it? And I felt like I was called or compelled, or, you know, something told me to do it, and it took me on a journey. Boy, it took me on a journey. But my father said that this is really, really like difficult. And it is, because when viewing divisive or alarming political news, I'm reading you what I just found out this morning, people frequently drop into lower levels of the emotional spectrum. So we go through those few emotional lowest vibrational states that I was just talking about. Fear, which is calibration 100, and that is worrying about policy changes, elections, or societal collapse. Haven't we been there, everyone? Or aren't we there once in a while, right? We are, I admit, because you don't know what's coming, right? It's unknown. Fear. Then you have anger, collaboration 150, feeling outraged by opposing political figures or policies. Haven't we been there, everyone? Or are we there sometimes? Pride, calibration, that's what they chose to talk about. Pride, calibration 175, defending a specific side or ideology rigidly. So I will say this, defending Trump, defending Putin, defending Russia, defending Ukraine, defending this or that, or, you know, name it, right? So I was there, I've been there, and I am still there to some extent, more or less. And I am very, very aware, because I'm very self-observant as well. Sometimes to my, can you say default? Like it's too much, like I have to give myself a break sometimes. Because I'm observing self like almost like my own, I'm like my own experiment in a way. Like, but I think having self-awareness, it's a very important thing. But why I'm talking about this, guys? Because talking about politics, not just talking, but watching those channels, that this is very addictive. I know it's very addictive, because you have this one is a guest, the other one is a guest, you know. Now you have this professor from China, Zhang or Xiang, however you say his name, Zhang, and I'm trying to pronounce, I'm not making fun, I just don't know how you say exactly, that I have very mixed feelings about, I have to tell you. And I brought his videos on my channel. I was showing you his videos while back, like less than a year ago actually, but about a year ago. But I am I have very mixed feelings about him. Something just feels off, and I can't put my finger on it, but I don't trust completely. But anyway, when I'm talking about it is because he just came to US, he's on a tour. I just want to show you something what I do sometimes. This is changing the subject. Like I see trash, okay, that is flying, and it takes a moment to pick it up and just throw into the near bin. Yeah, it's very easy, right? To keep the environment clean. So he's just on his tour through the US, and I know a lot of interviews with him and stuff like that. And I saw it because YouTube recommends you, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, people like to hear what he says, and you know, he says a lot of things that, of course, are, you know, accurate, I believe. But I don't know, something is just off there. What I want to say is it's very emotionally draining to keep on watching all those channels. And the thing is that I was part of it. I've been accused in one comment lately. Well, accused. It was a statement from someone who watched my videos recently and didn't agree about me questioning Putin. And she said, no wonder no one talks to you anymore. What she was referring to, like, you know, the people I used to talk to. You see, the thing is, I'm not going to talk about this because you don't know the story and you don't know really why I don't talk to any of those people anymore. Some of you do because you watch my videos. I simply stopped asking for interviews. I stopped sending emails because I felt that I cannot do this anymore, and I felt that this is not, it's just not making any more sense, and I want to find what's going on. And that's why I stopped. And people are very quick to judge and accuse things like, you know, that's why this person doesn't talk to you or that person doesn't talk to you. But you see, if I would define myself, or if I would value myself by if someone is talking to me or not talking to me, what a shallow existence it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so shallow to look at yourself through the criteria of, oh, this person who has a YouTube channel is not talking to you, or this person who everyone is interviewing is not talking to you. And maybe you ask yourself a question, why? Why is that? Because there are always two sides of the story, and there are reasons for every person why they are not continuing on certain path anymore. And where does it path really take us, right? Let's ask ourselves this, like, where are we going with this? Not only the so-called dark forces are draining our energy by doing what they are doing, and we are witnessing it, living it. So not only that, so the main evil, but then you plug into the alternative, so-called alternative media that is also draining when you watch it a lot, because you're gonna watch it a lot, that I promise you. You're gonna watch it a lot because you will not start and stop with one video. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm like that. I get easily distracted. And ultimately, you ask yourself this. So, for example, like, why it's always the same narrative? Why you don't question certain people? Here is my comment to that many of you will probably don't like. I tell you why. Because they would lose a lot of followers. And they would lose a lot of money. A lot of those channels are focused on making money. And I'm not saying I am not looking at how much money I am making, because this pays my bills. But if I would be driven only by that, guys, only by that, I don't think for amount as I am making, I would continue. Because it's not worth it. Like, honestly, it's not. So you will never hear from many of those so-called big YouTubers, and again, like that doesn't numbers are not, it doesn't really matter at the end. You will not hear the questioning of Putin or other people or bringing Chabad Lubavitch, because they don't want to, how you say, rock. I'm actually by the boat. They don't want to rock the boat, because they're gonna lose a lot of followers who are completely devoted to that idea and that belief system, and that means a lot of supporters, local supporters, Patreon supporters, members of YouTube channel, the donations, all of it. It's money. It's a lot of money. Like, I know they make a lot of money, a lot of those people. So where I am in all of it, I don't know. I'm just like a small little girl, woman, I should say, that somehow stumbled on this journey. And as I am going through this emotional scale, thinking to myself, this is like, we are doing this to ourselves, draining ourselves even more. And I think the solution to all of it is really to either laugh at all of this, which, it's hard to laugh because it's serious stuff. It's the future for you and those of you who have children. You're thinking about your children, and or you simply just ignore and do some things that might seem to be very, very shallow or not important, but just regular life. And probably this is the only way to escape as much as we can this craziness and to raise our vibration, because not only we are vibrating on the lower frequency, and that means it's easier for us to get sick, it's easier for us to have some other issues, because that frequency is bringing to your experience matching vibrations, which are, what type of people you're coming across, what type of situations you're encountering, what do you encounter, right? Because it's all vibrational match. I don't know if you understand my message today, because I am kind of like shooting myself in the foot saying this, but those political topics are very, very unhealthy for us guys in the long run. And I think maybe that's why lately I went back to those like free-flowing videos, because I feel more myself, and this is more connecting with real people, with the audience like you, because I see how many of you are experiencing the same thing. It's exhausting. And then even when you have like a beautiful day like now, and you still have this awareness of what's going on in the world, it's almost like you have to remind yourself to switch it off, and not think about it. So that's all I have for you today. Politics is very, very low vibrational topics. And one more thing just came to me, this reflection, and this will never end, because this will go on and on and on. Like, they just changed the prime ministers, they changed the presidents, but the same draining energy continues. So it's like this telenovela that never ends. They might change the cast, they might change the scenery. I hope it's not too windy for you guys. But the script continues. The script is the same. Maybe the director is different, but this has been already written a long time ago. So even if the new one shows up, he continues with a bigger plan. Don't you think? It's kind of like what we are living. So I don't know if we will ever be fully out of it, like as long as we are on this earth plane of existence. So where our attention goes, it's really important. And the last few weeks when I was traveling, realizing absolutely without shadow of a doubt that this place where I am currently standing is absolutely not healthy for me, even though I know it's like, you're like, oh, it's clean, it looks beautiful, I know, but energetically it's absolutely not for me. I'm watching myself, like how I am not feeling this place at all. Like the time of me being here is really came to the end at this moment. But my story is just different. But as I am coming to this realization, I also know what it means when you are in places like when I was before, when you have new experiences, or you're revisiting like Kraków, and you have streets that you like, buildings that you like, cafe that you like, you know, small businesses that you visit that you like, people that you met, let's say, a year ago, and they are still working where they used to work, and it's cool. So that brings your energy up. It does not really take much. Then you want to interact, then you want to go out and have a coffee somewhere, and then you want to be alive. I don't know what's going on, but some Ukrainians doing something or talking. So this is all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. You find all the links down below in the description box to other platforms. If you choose to support me, it means a lot. Let me see, the car is driving. Moment. Here we go. And if you understand my message today, leave the comments. Let me know your thoughts on that. Hit like if you appreciate the video. And I just show you before I end this. Right there, you see this building. I was there before I recorded the video for you. Vały Chrobrego. Pretty cool place. That's it for today, everyone. Just keep it in mind. What you are watching is either taking or giving you energy. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. It's very loud. I see you in the next video. Bye, guys.